Hey, Graham. Oh my God, good morning. Good morning. How are you? So good to see you. Had an awesome leg day today. Nick, fine, good. We'll see. Some are getting the notifications, some are not. Good morning, good morning. It's Monday. Big Daddy, good morning. Holiday is over. Hunter Biden with the pardon. Can't say I'm surprised about that. I would have been way more surprised if Hunter Biden didn't get pardoned. I see all the people throwing a conniption about it today on Instagram, but of course got him off. Illegal gun charges, drugs in the White House, the laptop from hell. Couldn't take him down because it's who you know. God forbid you sell a really good pro-hormone. Ooh, you're going to jail for that. Let's see. Good morning, guys. It's Monday. Starting right off, Nate says, on TRT, 200 milligrams of testosterone a week. Never took a pro-hormone. What would you recommend have taken yourself between abnormal, brutal force, chosen one, and super stroll? Well, first, let me say that your goal, everyone has different goals, right? So my goal may be different than your goal. Now, myself, of the ones listed, I would take chosen one. I will explain why. Chosen one doesn't aromatize, right? I'm already on a little bit of anastrozole, Arimidex, as some of you guys know. I take a half of a milligram twice a week, which is plenty, for me at least. My estrogen is in a perfect spot, right? So I'm not really, I don't particularly want something that can convert to estrogen because I'm a lot more focused on being leaner than anything else. So the chosen one, not aromatizing, I find boosts free testosterone. You don't have to worry about any sort of crash because you've got the 200 milligrams of test a week going, and it gives a nice harder look. Now, I would only use the brutal force here if I was a skinny, very, very hard gainer and I was trying to put some size on. Super Straw is nice, but as far as like, in my opinion, Super Straw is a very good addition to other pro-hormone cycles. And the thing with abnormal, guys, look, there's a lot of good data out on abnormal, a lot of good stuff about that compound, but I'm going to tell you personally, felt like I needed to use a lot more of it. So bang for your buck, chosen one. Now, that being said, I would also really, the Methaquad, Methaquad I would take over all of them because the Methaquad, man, you get that little blast with it right away before you train, which I really like. Also, would I need Eradicate and PCT5 after the pro-hormone is complete? Or no, since if you're on TRT, you do not need to worry about the PCT5. That testosterone base is there no matter what. So you don't got to worry about bringing anything back. You're already suppressed. That's ideal. And I hate to put it like this, guys. I really do, because I don't ever want to discourage people from staying natural. But when you go the route of the pro-hormones, they really do work better with testosterone. You have less downfall, because the downfall of the pro-hormones, guys, they're strong. People are like, oh, natural stuff is bullshit. No, there is really strong natural stuff out there. These DHEA-based pro-hormones are strong. They will absolutely suppress testosterone, which in layman's sense means they shut your own natural testosterone off. So when you're on TRT already, and you got that baseline no matter what, you can add these little things, plug them in, and see what they do for you, and get the benefits without having to worry about all that PCT and stuff after. Now, my guys who are trying to keep it, you know, they don't want to worry about the TRT, they want to stay away from that stuff for a while longer, you have to be more precise with how you do the post-cycle protocols. Is it okay to take creatine every day? Yes, 5 grams, that's all you need. 5 grams. Nathan, what up, my brother? Bolshoi Kush, look, you're my best friend, so don't take this the wrong way. In 20 years, if you're still walking on a treadmill here, coming over to my house to watch the Patriots game. What up, Bolshoi Kush? Mancini, how are you, brother? How are you? So what did I eat to be so big? It's funny, I was talking about this with some people the other day, right? When I was in my 20s and I was trying as hard as I could to be the biggest, best bodybuilder in the world, I got to a point where I was so muscular and I was training so hard that I couldn't eat enough food to keep my weight on. I'd miss a meal and my weight would go down. I mean, it was a stretch. It was a job to eat like that. When I tell people how I used to eat back then, they're like, ugh, gross. Now it's like I screw up one meal and don't eat clean and I gain 5 pounds. So my metabolism isn't what it used to be. I don't have the amount of muscle that I used to have. My basal metabolic rate is still fairly high. I haven't checked it in a while, guys. But when I was my biggest, and I was really, really working to put those calories in to grow, I was eating 5 to 6 real food meals a day and then another 3 shakes a day. So it was constantly calories coming in. Sometimes I had to do the shakes in between some of the meals just because I couldn't stand to eat again. But I was eating every 2 or 3 hours. That's just the way that I had to do it back then. Sako8025 says, I have a mild hernia in the groin area. Is it still okay to lift? So funny, Sako8025, I suffered a sports hernia down there as well. Man, let me tell you, I did this a couple months ago. I thought I tore my groin. The pain was terrible. Then I went into the doctor and he was like, do this, do this, do this. Nope, your groin's fine. Lay down, boom, you got a hernia. You got a sports hernia. So what I did was I got this girdle thing that I have around here somewhere that kept everything in real tight. And it actually made a big difference. And I essentially just didn't do anything that aggravated it, but I was still able to train the whole time, but I did not do anything that aggravated it. I found that doing back, I had to do stuff where I was supporting with just one leg. Leg press kind of aggravated it a little bit. You just got to be really careful. Did you notice? Let's see here. Did you notice the facially many WWE stars look like bodybuilders? Jay Cutler looks like Kurt Hennig, Undertaker, Bransfield Heath, Kurt Angle. Facially, WWE stars look like bodybuilders. I guess so. I never really thought about it like that. That's actually a hilarious. Observation, Bolshoi Push. In fact, I think you should do some sort of picture collage with that. I think that people would find that hysterical. In particular, first of all, you're spot on, by the way. You're spot on, but the Phil Heath, Kurt Angle one, hilarious. Never thought about that, but that's extremely, extremely accurate. I salute you for that one. That's one of your best ones. I have to remember that for later to tell my friends. I'm doing great, my friend. Thank you for asking. Good, good, good. It's December, guys. It's December. Luke, good morning. Looking back, doing all these trainings till failure, crazy diets, injuries you have, you think it was a better idea? Open your business as young and do light training and regular food. So here's what I think. Number one, I think what really screwed me up, guys, for all the bodybuilding was my football and powerlifting years when I was young. And that's just not me giving a cop-out answer. It's like when Ronnie Coleman says that he had these bad injuries when he was young. He had the football injury and these things that come back later on. Man, had I not done that stuff beforehand, all that stuff is what was really catching up to me. I had reconstructive surgery on my bicep at 19 years old. So I think that if I started bodybuilding with the knowledge that I had later on, I probably would have kept on competing. I probably would have certainly gotten my pro card, and I wouldn't have retired as young. That being said, I was always wanting to make money. And being a broke bodybuilder, I really didn't like that lifestyle, the stress of it. I wanted to figure out how to utilize what I was doing with my body to make money. So, shit, man, if I started a little earlier, it's tough to say because I really retired young from competing. Did I do cardio in the offseason? So, for the first 75% of my competitive career, no. The last couple years of my career, yes, I did about 30 minutes every day because I found that it really stimulated my metabolism to help me eat more. What happens when you're eating so much food in the off season, you just get tired of eating just to wake up and eat. So I would wake up and pop on the treadmill for a half an hour, and I'd be ready to start rocking and rolling and eating after that. Thank you, Luke Dory. I appreciate you supporting them. You know I'm dying to get back over there. I appreciate that so much. I know that those guys are doing a Cyber Monday sale today, the big one. The BOGO, that they did the big one all week. But, you know, anybody missed out, there's going to be some sort of Cyber Monday thing going on. Hello, Guvan Tish. Mancini giving the love to the brand. Thank you. Red light therapy thoughts. So, my buddy, Dr. Nick, he has a very, very fancy one. I think he said it's like, you know, $150,000 device. And what he says is the cheap ones are pointless. You know, you can see these people selling them on Amazon and things like that. So unless it's high quality, not worth it. But he has one that he uses with some of the other modalities in there, you know, the physio magnet, shockwave therapy. So I think, you know, when you put all that stuff together, I believe there is a benefit to the red light therapy, but I can also tell you I have not done it solo. I'm doing it with other things. New Radicals, Get What You Give, or Weedus Teenage Dirtbag for sure, bro. Teenage Dirtbag is so classic. Melanie, good morning. Good morning. Yeah, man, football's hard on the body, my friend. Mancini, start conservative with the euphoria, bro. Start conservative. Can I do some poses? Nah, I'm fat. Nobody wants to watch me pose anymore. I'll sit here and share my info with you, though. Let's see here. Melanie says, forgive me for forgetting, but what was the sub shop you said you bought the rights to the big? I believe it was, you know what, Melanie? I thought it was Wilson Subs. I don't know if you have access to Christopher Luke or Billy Gagliardo, but I know there's somebody that has the access to the big ones out there. So I may be giving the wrong one. Like I said, guys, I'm not in there anymore. You know what I mean? So I know that somebody has an exclusive to it. I'm just trying to do the best off of, you know, memories and whatnot and what I'm seeing out there. There's somebody who absolutely 100% has the big, you know, Supplement Express, same day subs. One of these guys has those big euphorias, I promise you. Is BritFit and Robin Banks still with VSL? Well, BritFit's been gone for a long, long, long time. She blew up on OnlyFans and forgot about everything else. That's you know, props to her. Robin Banks is retired as Robin Banks. She's still Zoe Stars. She'll give me a shout out if I asked her to. You know, she and I are personal friends, but she's not repping any brand, but she and I are still personal friends. Me and Zoe will always be friends. BritFit became too cool for school. That's what happens with a lot of these people when they blow up. They forget where they came from. But that's okay, man. I wish her nothing but success. Best price nutrition, my supplement store sells the 120 caps. Hey, thank you, Mancini. Thank you, man, for that. See that, man? Mancini knows more about what's going on than me. Badabuco says, Guy Sisternino on a video said, Evan Sitapani, Skull Trust, 225 with a straight bar. Like you said, he is strong, very strong. Yo, he's very strong, man. I'm telling you, Evan was very strong. Yeah, I don't know. You might want to try 2 pills, Mancini. 1 pill is very low. Who from these 2 wrestlers least wanted to be in a ring? Mark Henry, a.k.a. Sexual Chocolate Viscera, a.k.a. Big Daddy, or Yokozuna? Oh, well, Mark Henry by far the strongest. So I wouldn't want to be power bombed or power slammed by him. But Yokozuna, oof. I would say I wouldn't want Yokozuna either. CBD thoughts on recovery, overrated. When you're really fucked up, you're not going to notice shit from CBD. That's just my personal experience with it. Highly overrated, in fact, if you ask me. But some people are different. There are no stimulants, no, Mancini. As far as the euphoria, no stimulants. Nootropics. Melanie, I figured it was my side. No worries. Hey, listen, Mancini says he knows where it is, so there you go. Check him out for sure. For show. Faux show. Appreciate it. What sports can I play at the moment, considering the injuries that I have? I could probably bowl, maybe some shuffleboard. What do you think about Mark Zuckerberg had a dinner with Trump at Mar-a-Lago? I like it. All these guys should be having dinner with Trump. Get the world going the right way again. Get the world going. Have any of you guys seen, I keep on seeing these interviews with Ariana Grande and the bald-headed black chick from the Wicked movie, doing all these interviews. They both look like they have AIDS, which I'm sorry if that offends people. And they're always crying. What is going on? What is this all about? Can someone explain it to me? Has anybody else seen this? How do you think Trump will end up, Warren? How do I think Trump will end it? I don't know. I'm not a peace negotiator, so I think the best thing, though, is getting everybody in a room and starting a conversation, right? It's all an act on those two. I'm trying to understand what's going on. Are they like a couple now or something? Well, they're always together holding hands and crying, but I'm trying to understand what it's about. In their interviews, I haven't really understood anything that they're saying. Has anybody else seen any of these weird interviews? Like, first of all, I haven't seen the movie. I know it's like a musical that they made into a movie. But what is there to cry about? I don't know. I'm just wanting to be enlightened if anybody wants to share it with me today. Taylor Swift got a new book. Oh, boy. I've been working on my book, guys. Slow and steady, slow and steady. Hollywood is all kabuki theater, rituals, masks, bodysuits. Pete Davidson plays Biden on occasion. Badabuco, you're good, man. I like it. It's all very strange to me. It's all very strange. Oh, so I watched a great movie this weekend, guys. I watched a great movie. I'm going to give Joe Reiser a shout out for the recommendation. I watched The Substance this weekend. Marissa didn't like it as much as I did. Hilarious ending. I really enjoyed The Substance with Demi Moore and the other chick that plays the young version of her. I don't know if any of you other guys saw that yet. They have it on Amazon Prime. Very, very graphic. I enjoyed it. What's a good TRT crew protocol in my early 40s as well? So listen, Sako, here's what I always explain to anybody that's in their 40s on TRT. So for me, I'm almost 44. My doctor allows me to go 300 milligrams a week. So I'm a very, very responsive 300 milligrams. So on my blood work, my total test is coming up around 1,500. My free test is coming up around 600 on that 300 milligrams a week. But what I do, no matter what, so whether I was on 200 milligrams, 150 milligrams, 250 milligrams, is you got one of two options. Do your shots microdosed every day, or you can switch to what I've been doing lately, which is the every other day. I do it at the same time every other day. So if my total, right, is, let's say your total is around 200 milligrams, what you would do essentially is you could just round it to 70 or down to 65. You can do that 65 milligrams or that 70 milligrams every other day. They're small shots, but you keep that frequency so everything stays stable rather than getting that big blast. And what happens is the blood plasma levels stay nice and even, and you don't get issues with estrogen getting out of control. You won't have issues with it'll improve your sex life. You know, I mean, there's really a lot of benefit to doing the smaller, frequent doses like that. I have not watched Terrifier 3, mostly because I think Terrifier 1 and 2 were absolute trash. I think art is trash. I don't understand I don't understand the craze with it. The acting's terrible. So unless Terrifier 3 was dramatically better, I'm scratching my head on that one, guys. I really am. I saw so many people were like, oh, Terrifier 3, Terrifier 3. I'm like, am I missing something? Because the first Terrifier was trash, and so is the second one. How long did it take you to recognize Keon was a phenom when you met him? The first day. You could just tell he was so raw. He didn't even know how to pose the right way yet. But when he was hitting stuff, everything was popping already. The third one actually explains the clown. I suppose one day when I got nothing to do, I could try to go through it. They don't do it. I understand that there's no new, like, scary slash movie kind of guy. There's no new Michael Myers. There's no Jason Voorhees. There's no corny Freddy Krueger. But to me, the Terrifier movies are just trash. I'll beat that clown's ass if that guy ever messed with me. That's how I feel about it. I understand that it's all about the crazy gore. I get it. It's more like comedy to me. Now, I will say, in The Substance, there's a scene that's just over the top with the gore, but I found it to be hilarious. Like, it was more comedy to me than anything else. Even my grandmom's stories are scarier. How do I keep my hematocrit down outside of a blood donation? So that's another thing. If you do the low consistent dosing, you will have a better effect on hematocrit than doing the blast. That being said, there's a company that makes, I've posted it in my story before, a 24,000 milligram grapeseed extract. It's 3 pills a day. I take them together. It's 24,000 milligrams. It's not expensive. You can get it on Amazon. Just type it right into Amazon. Grapeseed extract, 24,000 milligrams. It'll pop right up. And you take 3 of those a day. I'll tell you, it's really kept mine way more under control. In fact, I went 6 months since my last blood donation, and it's just now a little bit out of range where I'm going to go donate again. But I'm really pleased to see the control it's having. So one of my buddies, physician's assistant, told me that he's had a lot of his guys doing that with success. And I find that that's helped a lot. Bolshoi says Biden will beat Terrifier's ass. I think so. Biden don't play around. No Michael Myers, but still have Jason Genova. See, I'd rather see a Genova-based horror movie than Terrifier. Camo, the Antichrist 2025. Yes. I heard The Substance and Smile 2 are pretty gory as hell. Listen, the first Smile I loved. Smile really did it for me. Smile was right up my alley. The second Smile, not quite as good as the first. However, very good. Very good. I'll definitely give the 2 thumbs up to the second Smile. And Substance, agreed, also good. Smile 2, I would go Smile 2 before Substance personally, but Substance was very good. I've seen a lot of shitty horror movies lately, so it was nice to see some good ones. If you want to just be totally like, go in a completely different direction, I don't know if any of you guys have seen the Creep movies. The actor from the Creep movies is so good. He's such a creepy guy. They could change the name of the movies to Cringe. He's so cringy. And so now they have the Creep tapes, which I watched the first 2. The first one is a lot better than the second one wasn't as good. The first one, though, he's so cringe and so weird and creepy. It's completely different. So they're not gory like that. CNCU Entertainment says Smile was solid. I'm still check out the sequel one of these days. With kids, I'm stuck watching. I get it, man. I get it. Good parenting, though. Bullshit question. When was the last time someone called you the N-word? Prison. Not since prison. Yes, Badabuco. Joe did make his own slasher movie. I was proud of him. He did a good job with that. So it's Monday. What have I had going on? So I've been running a personal experiment with 5-amino 1MQ. Actually gained weight my first week on it, but then again, I ate pretty bad this last week. Favorite prison movie of all time? The Rock is a good one. It's a good question, man. The original Longest Yard is a good one, but there's a movie that a lot of people haven't seen called Shot Caller, and I highly recommend it. Now that I've been through prison, Shot Caller, they did an amazing job with that movie. How accurate it is. And, sadly, I know guys that happened to, but I can tell you, like, watching a movie about prison before prison versus after prison is a lot different. You see where some movies got it really off and some got it really on. Man, Shot Caller, they really did a great job. A lot of people don't know about that movie. Did I like John Carpenter's The Thing? Yeah, that's an old one. That's an old one. Oz was solid, yes. Bad Boys was a good movie. I agree. PG, when taking TRT at 50 years old, what to take to keep up with the blood thin besides my aspirin? So, again, I'm going to go back to what I said earlier. When you do the lower doses spread out evenly, a microdose protocol, it doesn't have the same impact as aggressive on the hematocrit. That being said, that's not the only thing that you should do besides taking the baby aspirin, is I suggest taking a super high dose grapeseed extract. There's one that I've been experimenting on myself with this for a year now. My buddy Josh got me to do it. There's a 24,000 milligram grapeseed extract. It's just 3 capsules a day. It's concentrated extract. You can get it on Amazon. Add that into your protocol. But, you know, also, I really think it's important, guys, for everybody to take a NO vasodilation product. You know, Blackstone Labs, if I wanted to, I could have taken that Hype Reloaded and changed the name into it to, you know, blood pressure support. And say, hey, drink a scoop of this every day for blood pressure support. You know, maybe I would take the alpha GPC out of it because that's a focused product, but there's no downside to it. But adding that into your protocol, you know, a lot of people were taking arginine, things like that for blood flow, but adding a product like that into your protocol is extremely beneficial. Even if on your off days from the gym, shake a scoop up in your shaker or drink it, you can't go wrong with that. So beneficial for blood flow. So many birthdays today on Cyber Monday. Got my mom and cousin birthday today. Oh, happy birthday to them, Mancini. Beautiful, beautiful. You're welcome, Robert. I got a new YouTube video coming out today, guys. I hope you guys check it out. It'll be out tonight. Did a little cooking video with Marissa. I hope you guys enjoy it. I'm getting ready to get my podcast back going again soon. What else you guys got for me today? Marissa's off today. I'm thankful for that. We're gonna run some errands together. Did your newest shoulder workout? My shoulders were on fire. Good, Luke. I'm glad. Listen, as you start to get used to that stuff, you'll see you can really progress like that. And I'll tell you, since I've been focused on that workout, I did make one change recently. So I was starting to get pretty strong on those military. Although my shoulders felt amazing on my elbows, I actually have a machine press in my gym where I can do one arm at a time from down here. And the past couple of weeks, been focusing so I can really drive there. But as far as pain goes, as low as it's, so I can focus and train and get that blood flow going and progress without injuring everything again, that's great. What nationality does best financially among my circle? That's a good question. Well, you know, coincidentally, I have quite a few Italians in my circle that do well. I don't know if that's by design. I don't know if it's a birds of a feather flock together. I don't know if it's just the guineas just stick together, you know. It's interesting, you know, years ago when Mr. Singerman was my partner, you know, I had more Jewish people in my circle. And honestly, all of them did great. You know, say what you want, but all of them did great. So it's interesting. It's very interesting. Let's see, short legs, long torso, with great abs, or long legs, short torso, what would you pick? I would say overall myself, right? I have longer legs and a shorter torso. I think I'm fairly proportionate. Like I never got any GH belly or anything like that. See, the thing, a lot of the shorter torso guys, they get kind of like that boxy look. So I wouldn't want to have, I would hate to have that distended look. You know, it's nice to have that long, tight midsection with the short legs, but man, that's tough to say. That's tough. Yeah, I don't know. You know what? I still think I'd rather have the longer legs, shorter torso. I got to be honest with you. Hit him up again, Mancini. What your opinion on George Martin dude as a tank? Seems like a cool ass dude. I don't know. I got to check him out. I don't know why that name's not ringing a bell to me right now for some movie. Yeah, Luke, once you get it out of the way and you can learn on just engaging, you know, it's almost like a little arc. Really, really happy with those right now. Mark Dog says, good morning, PJ. In the past, you mentioned using Arimidex to control your estrogen. Do you feel it is a safe compound? It's been demonized by a lot of HRT specialist things. So the reason that they demonize it, right, is because people use it the wrong way. So it can absolutely have a strong effect on your lipid profile. So here's what you got to do, right? You take a look at everything that you're doing. Depending on where your estrogen is, that's how you base what you do. You don't just take like these guys are gonna take a milligram of Arimidex every other day. So look, when I was competing, if I was running a gram of test a week, sure, I'll run a milligram of Arimidex every day because you're gonna get estrogen conversion like crazy. And some people get more estrogen conversion than others. Having a fucking fuck ton of estrogen like that is no bueno. So the first thing you want to do is take a look at what you're doing. Let's say you're on HRT and you're only doing, I don't know, 200 milligrams a week, right? When I was only doing 200 milligrams a week, a half of a milligram twice a week was actually pulling my estrogen too low. It was down to 15. And I came off of it for a while to let it creep back up. Now I've got it literally in a perfect spot. It stays around 30, 35, which is ideal. I have enough estrogen to have benefit from it, but I'm in range. I'm not out of range, so I'm not going to hold water. I don't have to worry about negative estrogenic side effects. And that's not that much of a dose where it's tanking out my cholesterol. In fact, my latest blood work, my cholesterol numbers were the best they've been. When I got out of prison, I was literally 20 and 229 and 229. I honestly almost fainted when I saw that for 249 total, 20 and 229. I dropped it all the way down to 189 within a few months, but I was still only at 30. Boom, 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 had blood work done again, only at 31, I'm at 40 now. So you just have to monitor what you're doing and see how the juices work the squeeze. If you tank your estrogen out, it's gonna wreck your lipid profile, yes. It's gonna make you feel like shit. But if you're sensitive and your estrogen is through the roof and you're aromatizing, especially this happens to certain guys that are very sensitive. If they do a 200 milligram blast in one shot, listen, this never happened to me. I never had this issue. But I've seen guys have issues with puffiness in their nipples, issues, high blood pressure, all these things that you're like, damn, from 200 milligrams, they're more sensitive. Those are the kind of guys that may need more Arimidex than others. But for most people, if you're on 200 milligrams a week, 200, hear me out on this. I'm using 300, so I'm a little different. But at 200 milligrams a week, you may not need any Arimidex, but you have to pay attention and get the labs done to see. One thing I've learned, guys, about HRT specialists these days is that there's no such thing as an HRT specialist. There's guys that are giving themselves these titles, these monikers. Typically, there's gonna be a percentage of bodybuilders that have been doing this shit for a long time that know more than any HRT place, because this is all new stuff, and there's no long-term human controlled studies on this stuff. So it's stuff that we figured out through trial and error over the years. What's happening now in the HRT circles is information's being passed around and they're all just grabbing it and spreading around. That's how the medical field works in this particular space that I've seen quite a bit. Starting Epi Smash, how would you dose it? And what should I expect on it? If financially it ain't a problem for you to do a 3 a day, I would do 3 a day. I would do an AM, midday, and PM dose. If you can only do, 1 or 2 a day, blast them before you train. But it's a good, you'll stay tight on it, stronger in the gym. Good pumps, very good pumps, more stamina. Do I think there was ever a time where I was the biggest bodybuilder in Connecticut? No, thanks to Evan Centopani. He's just too damn big. Favorite country artist? I don't really care for country music all that much. I'm sorry to disappoint people. I think Jelly Roll has a nice voice. I think Sam Hunt is okay. There's a couple guys that I think have put out some decent songs. But I don't really care too much for country music. It's never been my thing. I think I could have been an amazing country music singer because I don't feel that it takes that good of a voice to be a country singer. You just gotta put a little twang in your voice, bada buco, and sing like this, a little bit of soul. And that's it. That's how most country music songs are. Now, that being said, there are some country music women's vocalists that do have very powerful, beautiful voices. I will say that. Man, Seth Feroci looks amazing, Badabuco. Listen, Seth Feroci has some of the best genetics of anyone I've ever met. You got to understand, when he first came on the scene, he won the Pittsburgh show, which is a good show to get your name out there as an amateur. And it was like, wow, he was a light heavyweight. He was impressive. You knew he was going to go into nationals and get that pro card, which he did. He got it right away. So he actually stopped young. He stopped competing pretty young, but he's a hyper responder, doesn't need a lot of gear. He responds great, trains very hard, genetically has a good shape, has a very powerful physique. So he's just got it like that, man. Props to him. Anything good for cholesterol outside of statins? Yes. Red yeast rice extract, fish oils, high dose fish oils. Those Blackstone fish oils. I'll be eating those like Tic Tacs. You can take Quinone, CoQ10, which they're all the same thing essentially. What do you feel is the ultimate HRT protocol for 50 plus years old? If you could get literally all the good stuff, right? Like, I'm talking, it was real no matter what. All the goods. 200 to 300 milligrams testosterone a week. 300 milligrams Primabol and Depot a week. 2 units of growth hormone every day. Probably would need a very small amount of Arimidex, like I said. And the combination of BPC 157 and probably a little TB 500 here and there for the recovery aspect of it. I think that would be the way to go. Overall, for sure. Look like a damn Greek god in your 50s with that protocol. The beautiful thing about Primabol and Depot is you can actually run it in relatively high doses without really having much side effect to it. So at a low dose like that, 300, I mean, I stayed on Primobolan when I had the access to it. I stayed on Primobolan for like 2 years. My blood work was always good. Kept me feeling lean and tight. Muscles always popping. Cut my injury down quite a bit. Missed those days. Bullshit cook. Mancini says he prefers the natural route with a test booster. That's it, man. Nothing wrong with that. The Trump dance. It's kind of hard to do it on the treadmill. Do I think Aaron has the potential to become a billionaire? Yes, I do. I definitely do. I love Andrew Jack Mancini. His physique is crazy. What is your biggest regret of your bodybuilding career? Training too hard and too heavy and not backing off and pushing through injuries. I thought my mental toughness was going to give me an edge over everybody else, but in fact, it was the demise of my career. Never took days off, pushed through injuries, pushed through pain. I had this mindset of pain is weakness leaving the body. Foolish. Had I taken the time to recover and let my injuries heal and train the right way, I wouldn't be as beat up and broken as in pain as I am today, where I literally can't even hit most of the poses anymore, guys. That's how fucked up I am. But my mindset is still good. I'm still happy to train. Badabuka says, I remember guys 35 years ago at my gym freaking out because dude had rugby suspension and the meatheads were going berserk. Yeah, man, test suspension, in the old days, you get those amps of test suspension, the water-based test suspension. You do that stuff in the morning and you go to the gym, you're gonna be a beast in the gym. I saw a lot of people have temper tantrums on that stuff too, though. Also, that water-based test suspension, if you didn't really shake it up good and make sure you knew what you were doing, it could get clogged up, even in a 21, 22 gaze, hurt you. That would make a great video to do, everything. Tier T for the channel. I should do that. Stockla 8025, I can throw that on there. Thank you for the recommendation. Oh, Palumbo got that Fiberlize sale going on. There you go. How many years do I think Arnold will live? Well, he seems to be going pretty strong still. He got the money for the doctors, right? Have you ever had sex or been in a relationship with someone who is married? Not that I could think of, but listen, girls are scandalous. You know what I mean? So I've met some chicks over the years, back in my crazy days of going out and partying, who might have had a husband or a dude, but I wasn't interested in figuring that out. That was when I was in my one-night stand days. If Kai became Mr. O, not Phil. Oh, I'm having connection issues now. I'm almost at an hour anyway, but anyway, here, let me say this. I don't think the sport would have been any different, better or worse, had Kai won an Olympia, or Phil. Over Phil, I think that maybe, listen, if you think that it's going to take like a squeaky clean guy like a Chris Bumstead to make the Open and, more mainstream, maybe, but really you would need somebody. The times are so different now that I don't know that we could ever see another Arnold Schwarzenegger, because when Arnold was doing it, it was at a time where bodybuilding moving into the movies was cool. Unfortunately, it's not looked at like that now. You don't really see bodybuilders ever in movies. The closest thing to a bodybuilder movie is The Rock, who's got a tremendous physique. But even he has toned himself down for the movies. So outside of that, I mean, how could you make it mainstream? It's not on TV, Have I ever been bit by a dog? Any good protocol for dog bites? I haven't been bit by a dog. I've been chased when I was young, though. Very scary. White snake, stop believing. Two great songs, but I like. I'm almost to an hour, so I'm gonna roll up out of here soon, guys. Any advantages of test propionate versus cypionate or enanthate? So, cypionate and enanthate are essentially interchangeable. They are almost identical and literally do the same thing. There's always going to be some meathead that says, you know, enanthate makes you hold more water or whatever. That's bullshit. Propionate, the issue with the propionate is that propionate ester makes it very fast acting. So no matter frequently. Now, on a milligram per milligram breakdown, when you look at the weight of the esters versus the actual testosterone itself, for every 100 milligrams, propionate is actually the most testosterone. So 100 milligrams of propionate every other day actually works out to be stronger than 100 milligrams of cypionate or enanthate. Now, I've never found a propionate that didn't hurt a little bit. And that always kind of turned me off about it. So, realistically, I would just stick to the cypionate or enanthate and do your breakdown the way I said, because you're still able to get 200 milligrams or 250 milligrams per milliliter of the cypionate and enanthate, where propionate is always 100 milligrams per milliliter. So, more volume that way. And for that reason, I don't like it either. And that's probably the last good one I think I'll take here today, guys. I'm going to roll up out of here. I missed the magazine days after. I don't know who will take Arnold's place after. That's a good one. Heart alone or Roxette, Listen to Your Heart. Damn, that's a tough one too. Probably going to go with Roxette, though. I like Listen to Your Heart a lot. Do you remember when meatheads are Gerber baby food? Yes, listen, I'm going to be honest with you. I thought that I was onto something when I was young and I first found out about that. I went on the road and I just packed a bunch of baby food in my suitcase out to California. And I was staying at one of Ed Connor's houses with a few bodybuilders. One of them was Ben Pakulski, but the other bodybuilder was a young guy from Germany named Dan Hill, and he never knew about anything like this. He said they don't really have stuff like that in Germany. So he couldn't believe that in the jar that I was eating was just sweet potato. He was shocked by it. So I gave him one, and when he did the breakdown to see how it worked out, he was so amazed with it that he went to the grocery store and he bought like 50 baby foods and crammed them on the fridge and put all this baby food in the fridge, taking a whose is this? And I was like, sorry, he was just so shocked by it that, you know, he went and loaded up. So that's my funny little story with that from back in the day. My favorite TV series ever, without a doubt, is Game of Thrones and Breaking Bad. I go back and forth on which one I love more, but Sopranos would be the third. Good session today, guys. I appreciate the questions. I appreciate you guys coming in here. Tell your friends. I answer it all. I know what I'm talking about for the most part. And that's it, guys. God bless you guys. I love you all. Peace out. Bye.